Good evening. Welcome to the Parenting Versus Podcast. It is our second episode in a couple days. It's spring break, so we're both home. Kind of nice, I guess. Got some things done today, sort of. Laundry. I did a little yard work. Went to the zoo. I don't know. Seems like an all-right day.
Yeah.
You did some jewelry work.
I did do some jewelry work. I need to sell some jewelry though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been an all right. I took a when Lindsay was doing jewelry work. When was this? I don't know. It seems like a long day. But at some point in the day, I did a personality. Oh yeah, you were in the workshop working on.
Yes, because you texted it to me and said, "Do this quiz," and I was like, okay.
Working on your jewelry. Yeah. So I took the Enneagram test, which I've heard, around Twitter, some people talking about it or whatever, and I hear the liturgist people talking about Enneagrams all the time. And
how accurate is it?
I'm not sure.
Or what do they base it on?
I have no idea. The liturgists, I feel like I trust them somewhat.
I feel like I trust them.
Yeah, the Science Mike guy, he's...
That's how I feel about everybody on Sesame Street.
Yes, I actually do trust everybody on Sesame Street.
There's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah. It's fictional, but...
Wait, what?
So...
Hold on. Back up.
Yeah.
Big Bird's not a thing?
He is, but there's a man under the suit. Anyways, so the liturgists talk about it, and they sell T-shirts, so I feel like I trust them. I don't know where the background is or whatever. That's where I heard about them, so I decided, I'll check it out. And I am an Enneagram. What did I say it was? 9.
You're at number 9.
I am the what is it?
Peacemaker.
The peacemaker. And I actually checked out their T-shirts, the liturgist T-shirts. And their T-shirt for me, it says for 9s, it says drink coffee then meditate. I was like, yep, I like that.
I feel like I don't know what you were saying when you meant T-shirts at first, and so I was like, what, are you just gonna walk around with a shirt that says the peacemaker on it, or actually, number 9, people are gonna understand?
No, actually, for sure, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Okay.
And we could shout out liturgists. I've been listening to their podcast for some time. Well, even though they challenge me. Shout out to the liturgists. Check out their T-shirts. They're pretty cool.
So I feel like, because I've had some people on Instagram and Twitter ask us, where can I find this test? I feel like you should give the link or the website out so that people can do this at home if they want to. It's a 14-page questionnaire, but it goes pretty quickly. It's not hard. So
the test I took, I just Googled Enneagram test, and the first thing that comes up is eclectic energies. Eclecticenergies.com, and it says eclectic energies Enneagram tests, and in parentheses it says free. So whatever, I just took that one.
It's free until they make you buy essential oils. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah. So, good.
No, I was going to say, it's interesting to take. I know I've taken the test, the personality types test, ENFP, INFJ, all that. But I took the Enneagram after you did, and it was pretty accurate. I felt like I was a number 3, which is the achiever, which makes sense because it's not that they were explaining. It's not that people in this category are necessarily high achievers. It's the way their brain works, which makes total sense to me because I always have a running list of priorities, and everything in my brain is prioritized by how interesting it is to me. And that also categorizes how quickly I am to actually get to the task and do it. So
right. What are you? A 2?
I'm a 3.
I'm trying to find your T-shirt on their website.
It's probably get out of my way. I need to do something.
Yeah.
Now I need to go farm llamas.
Yeah. Let's
I
see.
don't know.
And I'll finish my shout out. Liturgists, I've been listening to them for some time. They challenge my views. They're good. It's a good, entertaining listen, I guess. So check it out. I want to know what
my shirt says.
So there's one. It's just the Enneagram thing. It just says the 3. And there's another one. It has the Enneagram little logo, which I heard somewhere. I don't know if it was on another podcast listening to Bad Christian. which they're kind of pissing me off a little bit now. And I'll talk about that in a second. But a lot of people say it looks kind of like a pentagram.
I was thinking that too, actually.
No, but there's one that looks like a spotlight.
Oh, maybe.
And it says, thick Canon t-shirt for a go-to wardrobe sample. What does it say, though?
I don't know.
It's a Canon. It says, does this shirt make me look successful? Okay. So yeah, you're a 3.
I feel like I may want to take that test from another source just to see if it's the same number.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it again. There's 2 tests. So, but yeah, I'm a 9. You're a 3.
Yeah, you're a peacemaker, and I'm an achiever.
The descriptions.
Peacefully achieving peace together.
Yeah. The descriptions. Hold this. Thanks.
Yeah.
The descriptions. Let's make sure we're still recording. I know you're not supposed to talk about recording.
Did you just break the fourth wall?
I did.
Uh-oh.
People didn't know that we were recording. They just kind of thought.
They thought that there was 2 strangers in their car, in their
like,
ears, talking about Enneagrams.
How did this voice get to me?
They sound smart. That one sounds like an achiever, and that one, he's very peaceful.
Yeah, sure. So, can I just read yours real quick?
Sure.
Penny. Graham, what are you, a 3?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then there's wings, I guess, on the test, so that you can have, like, you can kind of lean one way or the other on the Enneagram, but you're a solid 3, according to the test.
It said I'm in balance, and I'm a 3.
Yeah.
Like I'm a balanced
All right.
3.
So here's yours. 3s are self-assured, attractive, and charming.
Oh.
I agree. Ambitious, competent,
Well.
and energetic, and can also be status conscious and highly driven for achievement. I kind of get that.
Yeah.
They are diplomatic and poised. That's why you're good at, your job, I think. But can also be overly concerned with their image and what others think of them. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I just don't think I vocalize it as much as people probably think I don't vocalize it as much as I think it. Yeah.
They typically have problems with workaholism and competitiveness. At their best, they're self-accepting, authentic. Everything they seem to be role models who inspire others.
Oh.
Basic fear of being worthless.
True.
Basic desire to feel valuable and worthwhile.
Yep.
Key motivations: want to be affirmed, to distinguish themselves from others, to have attention, to be admired, to impress others.
I think that that's a big one, because the thing for me, I don't want to come off as uninteresting. If somebody thought I was boring or uninteresting, that would be like devastating to me, which is kind of weird because that's sort of self-centered, I guess. But
yeah. Interesting. Okay, and I guess there's arrows on the chart. So it says when moving in the direction of the disintegration, so stress, driven 3s suddenly become disengaged and apathetic at 9. For real?
At 9?
At 9.
What does
That's
that mean?
me.
Oh.
Enneagram 9. I'm a 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so I would feel like that towards you?
Yeah, when moving in their direction of disintegration, driven 3s suddenly become disengaged and apathetic at 9. Interesting. However, when moving in their direction of integration, so of growth, in your growth direction, vain, deceitful 3s become more cooperative and committed to others, like healthy 6s. Okay. And there's a bunch of examples of people. Should I go over the overview or not really?
No. People can read it for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they take the test, they'll want to read theirs, not mine.
Yeah.
So.
Can I read mine now?
Yeah.
I'm a 9, right?
You're a 9. Keep asking me that.
I know. I just did the test and I already forgot.
I feel like this is another drinking game opportunity. Every time Lorenzo asks what number we are in this episode.
Speaking of liturgists, since we're talking about it, I was thinking of a liturgist drinking game too. Liturgist podcasts. If you listen to it, they say the word narrative a lot. what else do they say? There's another. I was like, oh, that would be a good
Oh,
word.
I remember the word you were telling me, and I forget.
Yeah, they say narrative a lot, and they also say, and I can't remember. I can't think of it right now.
But if you heard it, you'd be like, that's the one.
Yep, exactly.
No, I would too.
I'm gonna write it down next time. All right, so I'm a type 9.
It's a word like nuances or like
Something like that. I can't remember. It'll come to me. So type 9. 9s are accepting, trusting, and stable. They are usually creative, optimistic, and supportive, but can also be too willing to go along with others to keep the peace. That's very true.
Yes, because you don't ever want to make decisions because you're always worried about how other people are going to feel about those decisions.
Yeah, exactly. They want everything to go smoothly and without conflict. Yes, exactly.
Not making decisions causes
But they can
conflict.
also tend to be complacent, simplifying problems and minimizing anything upsetting. What?
I see that.
Oh, really?
Because I will be so like wound up about something and I am like, I cannot handle this. I am done. And you're like, it's fine. It'll be okay. And I'm like, no, it will not be okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, it'll be all right. And I'm like, that is oversimplifying everything right now.
But I'll go on.
But I digress.
Minimizing and go smoothly and without conflict, but they can also tend to be complacent, simplifying problems and minimizing anything upsetting. They typically have problems with inertia and stubbornness. Inertia for sure.
Inertia's like getting things going.
Yeah, have you heard of that? It's a physics thing. Mm-hmm. Like when you're in motion, like you tend to stay in motion, but if you're stopped, you have no inertia. It's harder to get things from that stop.
At one point we were talking about how we were in counseling and she was talking to you about how you seem like the type of person that, like, if something doesn't drive you or it's like you don't want to do it, you won't even start it.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Yep, it's my type.
Yeah. That's not an excuse, though.
But once I get going, I can get momentum. And
how dangerous is that, though? Like, I'm an achiever, and you're like...
I'm
like, crack the whip, and you're like, I don't want to.
I'm for sure like a bump in a log. Yeah. They typically have problems with inertia and stubbornness. At their best, indomitable and all-embracing. What does indomitable mean? Indomitable? Like I'm not able to be dominated?
I guess so.
And all-embracing, for sure. I get that. They're able to bring people together and heal conflicts, hopefully. Basic fear is of loss and separation. Absolutely. No, for sure. Like death terrifies me.
I'm not laughing.
Death terrifies me. Or like the idea of you for some reason like getting tired of me and like just piecing out, like that terrifies me. Separation, I do not like separation. Like when you went to Denver, did not like that at all.
Yes, I know.
So see? All right.
And remember in mine how it said that 3s like to, like when they're complacent and they disengage from 9s?
Uh-huh.
I think that may have been a really good example of that.
That's like the
situation.
perfect storm of nastiness. All right, basic desire to have
worst.
Mm-hmm. Basic desire to have inner stability or peace of mind, like that's for sure true. Enneagram 9 with an 8 wing, the referee. Enneagram 9 with a 1 wing is the dreamer. I feel like I'm more of the dreamer. Key motivations want to create harmony in their environment, to avoid conflicts and tension, to preserve things as they are, to resist whatever would upset or disturb them. Yeah, I get that. And then I'll move to so when moving in the direction of disintegration or stress, complacent 9s suddenly become anxious and worried at 6. So I don't know who 6 is, but it's not me. However, when moving in the direction of integration or growth, slothful, self-neglecting 9s become more self-developing and energetic, like healthy 3s. So, anyways, a little insight into our personalities.
I thought it was interesting because I read on yours, like, it was one of the more extended explanations, but it was talking about how 3s like to be very spiritually in tune with themselves. Mm-hmm. Like, you like to know where you stand spiritually.
Yep.
And theologically, and I'm like, holy crap. Like,
yep.
I'm on there.
I'm on this like constant inner quest to find, like, I'm just
with
like
the universe
always
to find and discover.
Yes, I'm always in deep thought, and
it's like the Star Trek Enterprise in his brain.
Yes.
Do you want to grab our daughter?
Sure.
We are dealing with a little girl who is going through her 2-year molars right now. Dear parents or future parents to be, I pity the fool who has to deal with 2-year molars like we do. No, it's like one of the worst, actually. So you can look forward to that lovely milestone with your kids when it happens. Molars and teething is bad. 2-year molars are the worst. Actually, Juliet was up last night until 1, just screaming and crying. She did not want to be laid down flat. She kept grabbing her, like the side of her mouth, like her jawline. And then I put my finger back there and I felt it. And she had a really swollen little spot where her tooth is about to pop through. So I feel really bad. And then she threw up all over me. So yeah, molars are no fun. Teething is no fun. And teething causes babies to have a lot of other not so fun things like fevers and spit and snot and puke and diarrhea. It is just not cool. So I was up with our daughter last night, and then I started watching a movie, and then the movie turned into a zombie movie. And I was like, oh, I guess I probably shouldn't be watching this with my almost 2-year-old, even though it's 1 a.m. and there's nothing on TV. And we're both wide awake. So yes, we are weathering the storm of 2-year molars right now. And I'm hoping that we get some sleep tonight. I don't know if we will, but thank God it's spring break. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, we can be tired. We don't have to go to work tomorrow. So yay. But yeah, the Enneagram test was interesting. I had heard about it. I had never taken it. Again, I've taken the personality types test several times, and I've always gotten the same personality type, which is an ENFP. So I would be curious to see how that correlates with an Enneagram test and just kind of see how accurate they are. If you take the test that the link we gave you, they give you some examples after you're done of other famous people that have the same Enneagram type as you. So you can kind of draw some conclusions and parallels from that, which is pretty interesting. Apparently Oprah and I have the same one, which is, I don't know how I feel about that really, but you can find out which famous person has the same Enneagram number as you if you want. It's just fun, if nothing else. I think one thing that all human beings enjoy is learning about themselves. And so this is kind of a way to do that. If you want to kind of put a different lens on your inner self and see what you're made of.
You still talking about Enneagram?
Oh, I was talking about 2-year molars too. All that fun stuff.
Is Juliet going through that?
Yep.
Is that what last night was about? You talk about last night?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about our night last night?
No, I just talked about the molars and the staying up. Did you want to talk about our night last night?
Sure, we can work out this on our podcast. Lindsay is taking a big sigh. You heard it. But, so we had our nephew over, in which, their bedtime was not bad. They went to bed pretty easily. It was a daddy night last night, which means, so me and Lindsay take turns putting them to bed.
Yeah.
Our 5-year-old, I wonder what his Enneagram would be. I don't know. But anyway, our 5-year-old, he's afraid of a lot of things, and he wants us to sleep in his bed, and so does our 2-year-old. They have bunk beds. We have a room for both of them, but we decided to put them in the same room. Whatever. Anyways, they went to bed pretty much on time. And then I think I went and worked out after that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and worked out. Lindsay took a bath. When I came back, Lindsay was holding Juliet. And a lot of times when that happens, it's, 15 or so minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and she's back to bed, and we can get on with watching our movie or hanging out, whatever we do when the kids are in bed. It's like our time. It's our parent time.
Yeah.
It's our recoup for the day. Like, we get that time just to kind of sit together. Well, she didn't go to bed for a long time.
Till 1 in the morning.
It was like 1 in the morning.
No, it was 1 in the morning. I looked at the clock.
Yeah, it was, I know, I was awake.
No, you weren't.
I was awake the whole time.
You were not awake.
Okay, I promise I was awake.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of times I was laying in bed, but I did not fall asleep. I promise you that. I promise you that. 9s don't lie.
I'm going to disengage right now.
So she stayed up. Actually, no, I think I laid in bed with her while you were watching movies for a while until like 10 or 11. So it was like a couple hours, and she fell asleep next to me. And I was just sitting there, and I was laying there in thoughts, thinking things. And then I'd pull up my phone and play a game, watch a little bit of YouTube myself, whatever. I was just sitting there. She was asleep. So I thought, okay, I'll pick her up and transport her to her bed. No
She's
big
a
deal.
light sleeper.
And a lot of times that will work, but this time, as I was putting her down on the mattress started to creak, and that woke her up, and she kind of rustle. So I kind of started to stir. So I tried to get out of her room pretty quick and silently. You know what I mean? Like making sure not to creak the door or the doorknob.
We need a WD-40 her door, by the way.
Yeah, or graphite or something.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, maybe she'll stir for a little bit and then fall asleep. No, she was full-blown screaming. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just let her cry it out for a little bit. And that was like making you nervous or anxious. So you ended up getting her, but it was not fun. I ended up bringing her back in the bed with me. She kind of fell asleep halfway, and then when you got in bed, that woke her up completely. And I held her on the couch upright, and she fell asleep on me upright.
That was the story of the night.
Mm-hmm, and then I tried to put her down again after sitting there with her there for like 10 minutes, and then again up screaming. Mm-hmm. It wasn't fun. We were both tired. And then as soon as we got really tired, that's when manners kind of went out the window on both of us, I think.
We're a couple of assholes when we're tired.
Yeah, we're mean to each other. And that's one thing I'm trying to get better at is like not being mean to my spouse. But I am mean a lot of the times. We're mean to each other. But when we're tired and we're frustrated, we're especially mean to each other.
Here's an example. Our daughter puked all over me.
Yeah.
Like blue chunks, like...
They were blue?
No, like blue chunks.
Oh, that she blew the chunks. Okay.
Huge chunks
like
of vomit.
I was thinking...
Not cute little, like, newborn baby vomit. This is like, I ate full food and, like, I didn't
like
digest
stomach
this
acid
food.
all over you.
Like, gross, right? And I'm, like, literally holding her in one arm, holding some puke in my other hand. You guys can't even see this, but I have my hand out like I'm cupping some puke because I talk with my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lorenzo! I couldn't move because I was either going to drop the baby or spill the puke like it mattered.
You're like, help me, get a towel. And I was like confused because I was like halfway asleep myself.
He just like
so I was like, I don't know where the towels are. And you were just like, I didn't know what you wanted from me, but you knew exactly what you wanted.
No, you were like, what do you need? I'm like, there's puke everywhere.
So I was like, okay, let me find a towel. And as I went to go find a towel, like I don't know, you're just like, just go back to bed.
I was so mad because it was like taking you longer to find a towel than it would have been for me to just go find a towel and clean it up. Mm-hmm. So I was up like Lysoling our kitchen floor last night at like 12:30.
Yeah.
And then she finally...
It smelled good. It was fresh after you cleaned.
I'm sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
For you. Yeah, gross.
So it's not a fun night.
I almost threw up from her.
Did you notice I let you sleep in this morning though?
Yes. You know, my number 3s are the ones that need affirmation.
Who are 3s? You?
Yes. Take a shot, everyone.
Why?
Because you seem like you need affirmation. Like
I do need affirmation. Oh, that's one thing that the 9s are they tend to be self, like they don't give enough, they lack on self-worth. So they need other people to kind of build them up with their self-worth.
See, and that's interesting because 3s are the opposite of that. We need affirmation because it makes us feel accomplished, but we are pretty like confident in ourselves, or at least we appear that way.
Right. But I definitely feel good on compliments. Like when people compliment me on whatever it is, it makes me feel pretty good. And I don't speak up for myself a lot of times. Like I won't announce to everybody that I've done a really good job at whatever job I'm doing. And when other people get credit, that kind of pisses me off.
Hey, everybody, come and see how good I look.
Yeah, see, I won't do that. But if nobody compliments me on how good I look, then, yeah. Here's an example. Last year, the yearbook came out, and they didn't put my picture in the yearbook, and it kind of pissed me off.
Mind you, he's a teacher, not a student.
But all the staff pictures are there, and I took the picture. I went to the photojournalism lady,
so my question would be like, where's that damn picture? Where is it?
The students probably lost it. I don't know. But anyway, like they just had a list of staff names that they didn't get the picture of, and my name was on that list. It was like,
but
it was like not pictured.
Your name's still there.
My name's there, but my photo wasn't there. This year, they did take my photo, and little things like that, I don't know why it bugs me, but like, I just wanted to have that little bit of recognition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, this year's a different year, and you have a whole career ahead of you with yearbooks.
Yeah. What were we talking about before that, though?
Our night. And
Our
kids
night.
and puke and us not being very nice to each other.
Yeah. So working on being nicer to each other, and yeah, I think all day it's been kind of a little bit of struggle.
There's been a little friction.
Yeah. I feel like you were kind of holding a grudge at me all damn day.
That was your assumption because I wasn't. I was more thinking about. I think sometimes too I come off as I'm mad and I'm not mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about something very intently and I'm not paying attention to anybody else. Or I don't know. Like I've been thinking about my jewelry business. I've been thinking about this week and like the things I have to get done this week, of course, because I want to achieve them. I've been thinking about some of my friends. I have friends that are going through some hard stuff right now. I'm not going to say names or what they're dealing with, but I've just had some friends, different friends, dealing with some stuff, and I'm trying to think about how I can be positive and encouraging to them.
Caleb.
You
can be Caleb to them.
I want to be Caleb to them. No, but seriously, I don't want to be that friend that's only around like, or is only like, oh, are you okay? Well, hope you feel better. Like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be practically supportive to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just, be like, oh, good luck. Or like when someone's like, well, I'll be praying for you. It's like, yeah, that's nice. But I mean, thanks for that. But like, sometimes people need a hug. Sometimes they need to have a conversation. Sometimes they need to go have a cup of coffee.
It means a lot when you're like actually present.
I want to be present for people.
Yeah, I got you.
So I've been thinking about how I can do that better and meet people where they're at and not just assume that they're okay when they say that, because I can tell when people are not okay.
Yeah. So
that's been on my mind too.
Yeah. Well, it came off as, and maybe I was just making assumptions, but I think you were still a little bit mad at me. I don't know. Anyways, it's better now, I guess, but we did have some time to ourselves a little bit. Like, you went into the gym.
It was packed in there. I only did cardio, and then I was like, I guess I'm done because there's no other machines open right now.
Yeah, I worked on the front yard, and I look really closely at my rings on my Apple Watch to make sure I'm doing enough exercise, and I'm pretty close to closing my stand ring. I did close my exercise ring, but I need a little bit more to close my calories ring. But I did that with cleaning our front yard.
It looks good.
Well, thank you.
I'm excited about our flower bed. You did a good job with that. That's been bugging me for a while.
It's hard to do yard work in New Mexico, I feel. I mean, because nothing grows out here, it's really dry, and it's been especially dry. In fact, today I was kind of resurrecting the dream, I guess. And I guess this all ties back to our Enneagram dreamers, but
it's everything, you guys.
Hopefully. I don't want to think about it that much, but
can I tell you? I'm sorry. That's one of those like phrases that I hate. Like when people will post something, they'll be like, "This dog is everything." I'm like, you are just lazy with language.
I don't get this dog is everything. What does that mean?
It's an example. No, they'll say like, this something is everything.
Okay.
It's like slang. Like, this dress is everything.
Or this taco is everything.
Right. I'm like, that is so freaking lazy. Use some big boy words, guys. Come on. Like,
all right.
I don't know.
What was I just talking about?
As a side note for you.
It's gone. It's out of my brain.
You're talking about our yard and our Enneagrams and resurrecting the dream.
Oh, yeah. So when I was... Sorry, that's my... See, inertia. See, all of my faults can be... I can't help it.
And I'm just going back... I'm a 9. I'm just going back up the list in my brain. I'm like, a 9. Yard, inertia, everything. Okay, here we are.
Yeah. So... Working on a yard in New Mexico is a lot of work because nothing grows except for goat heads and these nasty weeds. And
can you explain goat heads to somebody who doesn't live here? Because I wouldn't know what they are.
So
I could not. Goat heads sticking out of the ground.
It's cabeza de cabras all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
Or yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
I don't think I could give justice to a description of a goat head, but it's these weeds. They're like little vines on the ground. They're small, but the seeds grow these huge spiky stickers, and they have two big spikes that look like goat horns. So they've been named goat heads, which I believe they're an invasive species
They're like
from
Satan's
Europe.
seeds.
Yeah, they're nasty, and if you get them stuck in your foot, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like they inject poison.
They have something because it doesn't. It radiates a pain. It's like getting stung by a bee. It just hurts.
And it hurts, which I don't get it because the trait of having a spike on your sticker is so that it gets picked up on an animal or whatever else, and it goes for a ride and it needs to be spread everywhere, right? It's a mechanism for the plant to spread all over the place. Mm-hmm. So you're helping it, but if it gets stuck in your skin, well, maybe that makes sense though. Sorry, I'm going through a science thing in my head. If it gets stuck in your skin,
I hear the momentum building.
The animal is going to want to take it out so that it doesn't stay stuck in their skin. So maybe that's the purpose. But anyway, they're awful.
And that's the science of goat heads.
They're awful little plants, and they grow in abundance.
Whoa.
Our son slammed the door. Here, you want to talk for a second? I'll make sure they're not killing each other.
Okay. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Yeah, goat heads suck. They're terrible. And yeah, if you don't keep up your yard or you have a drought or something, they pop up pretty frequently. And so we had a bunch of those in our yard, especially in our front yard. So it makes it hard to grow grass and hard to want to spend time in your yard because you're like, I'm just going to get stuck with goat heads. So Lorenzo went and cleaned up a bunch of them, and that's cool. It was awesome. And now hopefully our yard will thrive amongst the weeds that aren't there anymore.
You're talking about the yard still?
Yeah.
Okay. Kids are okay. They are just wild.
Oh,
but
I have to tell you this. Mm-hmm. Last night I'm sitting here with Juliet, and like every time I would think that she was close to getting to sleep, the loudest driver in Albuquerque would go past our window every single time. Yeah. It's like motorcycles and semi-trucks, and like, I was like, what is this about? Like,
I would have to say the drivers in Albuquerque just plain suck. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. Okay, so can I complain for a little bit? I like to say nice things, but I'm going to complain a little bit about our city.
Part of your personality type is that you repress things until they boil over. So
okay, so I'm going to boil over a little bit. Right. I have this strong sense of justice, like people should do the right thing. And one thing that really pisses me off in Albuquerque, I guess you can say it grinds my gears, are the drivers. They don't follow rules. Like, I'm not perfect, right? I speed sometimes, but I try to do everything right. I try to yield correctly. If I'm in a roundabout, I actually stop and I follow directions. I wait for others.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I gotta go back in there.
I think it's PJ time. We're going to take a parenting pause.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't want... Okay, sure.
And we're going to do the PJ thing with our kids, and we will be back in a second.
Okay, we're back.
You're back.
What was I talking about? They're bulls. They're pretending to be bulls. So I think I was
talking about New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So drivers in Albuquerque kind of piss me off, and I don't know if this is an Albuquerque thing, but we just don't like laws or rules or doing the right thing. Like today I was
We're in the West, son.
I guess. And it's funny because I rarely ever see anybody being pulled over, but people drive insane. And like, for example, today I was working on the yard and I saw this car. It was like a mid 2000s Chevy Impala.
Of course it was.
Okay, I gotta here.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, New Mexican drivers, have a bad reputation. I feel like they're just not nice. Like, they will purposefully try to cut you off, and like they'll speed up and get in front of you and then slow down, and you're just kind of like, what was the point of that? Or they'll like race you to the stoplight, and you're like, well, I'm glad we're both here now. But yeah, New Mexico drivers are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
You guys also used to get your like permits at 14 or something. 13.
I don't remember.
It's crazy.
I don't remember, but very, very frequently I'll see people, on their phones texting or talking on their phones or whatever. And then on the art project, right? Mm-hmm. There are 2 bus lanes that are brand new. There's no buses on them right now, but one of the things that's in place is you can't cross the street like where there's not a designated place to cross. Like, there has to be a stoplight for you to cross the street in your car, for good reason. Like, if there's a bus there, you are going to get hit by the bus, and it's also like that's not a place for a car to stop. Is in the middle of bus lanes, right? And I think it was like Saturday. I was taking the kids to the aquarium, and I just see cars everywhere crossing the bus lanes. Like, it doesn't matter. And you're not supposed to do a left turn when you're there. So, I don't know. Those things...
It is frustrating, because you're like, seriously?
Those things bother me. Oh.
Like, let's work together for mankind to be better, guys.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, the school zones really piss me off. Really, really piss me off. You're supposed to go 15 in a lot of the elementary school zones, 25, I believe, in high school, middle school. And then I told you that story I saw on the news. A little girl got hit and killed in front of Cleveland, right there in Louisiana and Montgomery. And it's like, people are insane. They just need to slow the hell down, pay attention. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So these are the types of things that make me dream. And then today we were at the zoo, and I was like thinking to myself, I would love to have my kids raise my kids in an area where I feel is a good spot. I would like to be in a place where I don't have to worry about trying really hard to get my yard to look good. You know what I mean? So Washington and Oregon are always like on my mind. The Pacific Northwest is just a spot that I feel like I would really love. So I was just thinking about that today, and I was actually like looking up, like, is a teacher license reciprocal in Oregon? Is it reciprocal in Washington? What is the starting pay? What are the districts in the Portland metro? Like looking at jobs and stuff like that. And then it all comes back. I gather myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. My kids' grandparents are here. It's a good place to be. I love New Mexico. It's fine. And we feel, me and you are both on the same page. Like, we like it here. But sometimes those things will pop in my head. Like, I need to move. I need to get out of here. So,
I think those things can get discouraging wherever you are. It's just different things.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to know what the problems are in those places so that I know what the deal is.
Elitism?
Yeah.
Keeping up with the Joneses?
Yeah.
Hyper-liberalism?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's offended about something all the time. I don't know.
Oregon and Washington?
Yeah. I mean, you have like yuppie culture, and you have like, everything is offensive, and, people protest just to protest, and they don't even know why they're protesting.
They're just following along.
Yeah. So I think there's different things you have to deal with, but I don't know. I'm hoping I can get our kids to bed like at a decent hour, because I actually want to watch a movie tonight.
Yeah.
And not fall asleep.
Yeah. Do you want to stop this one now? We're like 30 minutes in.
I kind of feel like we should, because I have a personal agenda. I have a checklist in my head.
What's your checklist?
I have things that need to happen. My
Excuse
checklist is Luke needs to get his pajamas on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a struggle every damn night. And then we've got to do stories still. And then I've got to lay down with them until they fall asleep, which takes forever.
Mm-hmm. And
then I have to try not to fall asleep myself.
There was something else I wanted to talk about too, though. You're just looking at me with this look. Can I tell you one more thing, though?
Sure.
Okay. So today I was listening to one of my podcasts, the Bad Christian podcast.
I thought you said they were bugging you.
They were bugging me. That's what I wanted to talk about. So there's 3 guys on the podcast. There's Toby, Joey, and Scrappy Doo. Just kidding. Toby, Joey. I almost said Joey and Lawrence, but no, not. It's Toby, Joey.
Doesn't matter.
Toby,
and
Joey, Matt. Toby, Joey, and Matt. So Toby and Matt are from the band Emery, and Joey is just one of their good friends or whatever. Matt lives in Seattle. Toby lives in like Tennessee in the Nashville area, and Joey lives in South Carolina. And they do this all remotely. I know a lot about these guys. It's weird because I listen to their podcasts all the time.
You've said that before.
I probably have. So they give a lot of crap to Joey, and I know it's part of their friendship or whatever, but I almost felt bad for him today in the podcast because when I was in high school and into college, I used to have a friend that would joke around, and you're like wiggling your foot a lot. Are you nervous?
No.
Okay. That used to give me a lot of crap and like kind of joke around with me like how Toby was joking with Joey on the podcast, and it made me feel uncomfortable. Like I had this like memory of that and how it was like it was all joking and all this other stuff, but how I didn't like it because it made me feel
because you were the butt of the joke.
Yeah, and he was like the butt of the joke, and they were making fun of him because he was talking about like prophecy, and how there's this guy on Twitter who is a world-renowned drummer, like drums. He's a studio drummer or whatever, and they were kind of like making fun of him because like, how are you supposed to know who a drummer is? Like, you're not. And the idea I got was like, you're not a musician. How would you know this thing and that? And he probably didn't take it how I was taking it, but it just reminded me of those situations where I just didn't like being the butt of a joke, even though it was all a joking situation. You know what I mean?
There's always a little truth to jokes. I think when people make fun of other people, like, it's never just a straight like, haha, that's a joke. Like, there's usually something behind that. So it,
Well, when I was listening to it, I was thinking like, man, he is being an asshole right now. That's what came to my mind, and I just didn't listen anymore because he was just really beating on him verbally. Like, and again, it was probably just them, and I don't know. So, anyways, I'm probably gonna take a little bit of break from the Bad Christian because they talk about the same thing over and over and over, and the personalities are kind of pissing me off a little bit. Like, and I'm okay. It's okay for me to feel like that, I guess.
I'm going to validate your feelings right now. It is okay for you to feel like that.
Thank you. I am a 9. I need that.
I want to affirm you.
It's
okay that you feel that way.
Okay.
You're allowed to feel.
Maybe it's me clashing with their personalities. I don't know. But Matt, the guy Matt on there, I like his line of thinking. Like, he's very rational, but sometimes he's too rational. And sometimes he's a little bit self-important, like kind of, I don't know. So anyway, I love the Bad Christian podcast. I listen to it all the time, but personalities were kind of rubbing me wrong today. And I'll continue to listen to it. And it's a good podcast. Check it out. I mean, not a lot of people. Anytime somebody has told me I checked out that podcast, they always tell me I didn't like it. But they have a lot of listeners, so I don't know what it is that appeals to me about it. But I've had some friends say, I've listened to it and I'm not really a big fan of it. So anyways, there's that. So you're just kind of going along with it.
I'm just looking at these airplanes, wishing I was on one.
That's LAX. So we have our Apple TV like screensaver in front of us, and they updated them fairly recently. The one we first saw was Dubai. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. The other one was like icebergs, and it makes me kind of depressed because I'm like, okay, great, it's showing the ice caps melting. You are
really holding a lot of things in your mind.
I do.
There's a lot coming out right now. Like,
but you
were like all over the place.
I'm sorry. I've also had 2 cups of coffee, and it's in the evening. So
okay.
Because I gave up.
You're talking with your hands. You don't even do that.
I'm caffeinated. That's just that's what happens. Well, I gave up. I gave up carbs today, just to try it out. Because I've been working out like crazy. Like, you can vouch for me. Yeah. I've been running on the treadmill a lot, and it's for health. I want to be healthy, but I think I'm also concerned with my appearance a little bit.
You need to do weights.
Um,
Like weightlifting.
I don't like weightlifting.
Well, nobody likes it, but
It
you
also
have
has something to do with my diet. Which, tangent, there's a liturgist podcast that's out.
Oh, dear God.
That's about self-image that I was
Somebody
listening
kill me
today,
now.
and it was really good. So check out the liturgists. But anyway, I am running on the treadmill. I am doing these things to try to be healthy, first of all, and like get my mental clarity. It's also a time for me to kind of be in my mind, the exercise. But I also have a self-image thing where I want to look better, and I'm not like losing any weight. In fact, I've like gained weight.
No, that's why you need to do weights. Like you need to lift weights.
Right. But it's also has
resistance training.
Yeah, resistance is fine. I know you want me to be a Dothraki
No, I don't.
warrior.
I'm just saying.
But
Oh my gosh. No, I'm just saying that you
Lindsay
burn
gets-
more calories like afterwards when you do that than just cardio.
you know what's funny? I said Dothraki warrior, and you got like all starry-eyed. You're like, oh.
Oh, really? Okay.
She wants me to have a man bun and like
I would be okay.
crazy pectorals, and eyeliner. So
Eyeliner.
yeah.
I don't even wear eyeliner.
Well, the Dothraki warriors definitely wear loads of eyeliner.
Okay.
So I'm not losing any weight, and I'm gaining weight. And last year at this time, and even 2 years ago, I was doing the keto diet. I'll wrap up in just 1 second. I just had to get this thought up.
Our daughter's crying.
I know. I'll grab her in a second. I was doing the keto diet, and I was dropping all kinds of weight, not exercising at all. Right now, I'm exercising, and I am eating like crap, and I'm drinking beer and all this other stuff. So
Well, that's your problem.
I might. No, it is my problem. It's my diet. So, hang on. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up right now.
Our daughter's crying. I'm gonna
I know.
cry her.
Okay. Well, we'll wrap up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo on caffeine.
I just feel like there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about.
Apparently, you have
And-
a lot to get out tonight, and that's okay.
Is it?
But it's time to wrap it up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cut off my thoughts, and I'll hold
Don't
it.
get passive aggressive. I know that's
I'll
what your
hold them
type
in.
does.
I'll hold them in forever, and
Passive-aggressive.
we'll never get to it. Do you want to do what you're listening to real quick?
No, because I'm not listening to anything.
You didn't listen to anything today?
I did, but I can't remember, and I don't have my phone in front of me. So
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll do more before spring break. Lindsay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, have a good night, everybody. Lindsay hates my guts.
oh, dear God.
Juju, can you say hi? Can you say hi?
Hi,
Say, how are you?
and you.
Can you say, I love you?
What's it?
Uh-huh. Can you say, I love you?
Are you?
Say, bye-bye, Grandma.
Bye-bye.
Say, good night.
Good night.
Bonus episode with Jujubee. So, what are you doing today?
It was favorite.
Did you play?
No.
Did you go to the zoo?
Yeah.
What did you see?
She ran was.
Did you see the monkey?
Mickey.
What does a monkey say? Did you see the duck?
Yeah.
What does a duck say?
What?
Did you see Diego?
Yeah.
What does Diego say?
Meow.
No, Diego. What does Diego say?
Meow.
What does a dog say?
Woof.
What does a cat say?
Meow.
What does the bird say?
Meow.
What does the bird say?
Tweet.
Tweet, tweet, tweet. What do you want to say to your future self?
So for the words.
I don't know. Okay, can you say bye-bye to everybody?
Everybody. No, everybody.
Say bye-bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye bye bye.